Hi everyone and welcome to English with Aga. In this video, I want to teach you the difference between for and since. We will also look at different phrases that contain those words, such as ever since and for ages, as well as different meanings of since and for. We're also going to look at some common mistakes and we'll do a practice exercise at the end, so keep watching. Before we start, subscribe to my channel and get your free English grammar booklet from the video description. Okay, let's get started. So, for and since are usually used with the present perfect tense in English. So the present perfect is for talking about something that started in the past and is still true now. For example, I have worked in banking for many years. That means I started working in banking many years ago in the past, and I still work in banking now. So it's still true. And I have worked is about the whole period of time between when I started and now. We have lived in this house since January. So here I'm talking about between when we moved here in January and now. And we still live here. It's still true. So that's also the present perfect. So now, when do we use for and when do we use since? For is when you're talking about the period of time, the length of time. We have known each other for 20 years. So I'm talking about the length of time, 20 years. That's why I need for. It means we met 20 years ago and we still know each other. So again, this is the present perfect and I'm talking about the length of time. I have had my car for 3 years. So that means I got my car 3 years ago and I still have it now. It's still true. And I'm talking about the whole period of time between when I got it and now. 3 years, the length of time. So I need for. Now let's compare that with since. We have known each other since 2015. That means we met in 2015 and we still know each other now. Again, it's the present perfect. But in this example, the emphasis is on when it started, when our friendship started. That was in 2015. So we need since. Since is the beginning. I have worked in banking since 2010. So again, I started working in banking in 2010 and I still work in banking now. But I'm using since to focus on when this started. So, to sum up, for is for talking about how long something has been true, and since is to focus on when it started. But both of them are used with the present perfect, which is about the whole period of time between when it started and now. You can also use for and since with the present perfect continuous tense. I have been reading for 2 hours. I have been reading since this morning. So this is a continuous action that started in the past and is still happening right now. I have been reading for 2 hours is about the period of time, the length of time, 2 hours. Since this morning is also about the whole period of time, but the focus is on when I started reading. So I started in the morning. We've been watching a film for 20 minutes. We've been watching a film since 8 p.m. Again, the first one is about the length of time, The second one is about when it started. Okay, let's look at a common mistake. Many English learners say this: my friend lives in America for 10 years. This is incorrect. We're talking about something that started in the past and is still true now. So we can't use the present simple. We need to use the present perfect instead. So the correct version of this sentence would be: my friend has lived in America for 10 years. And the other example I see a lot is: my friend lives in America since 10 years. There are two mistakes in this sentence. First, we need the present perfect, so my friend has lived in America. And secondly, we can't use since with a period of time. So we have to say when he started living in America. For example, my friend has lived in America since 2010. Let's look at some phrases with for and since. So there is ever since. I moved to New York in 2005 and I have lived here ever since. Ever since means since I moved here continuously for the whole period of time. So it's just to emphasize that something has been true continuously for the whole period of time, and it's still true. Ever since can also be at the start of a sentence. Ever since I got a new job, my situation has improved. So that means it has improved continuously since that moment. Ever since. Now the next phrase I want to teach you is for ages. It just means for a very long time. My sister has been unemployed for ages. It means she lost her job a very long time ago and she is still unemployed. So for ages means for a very long time. Since and for can also mean the same as because. Since you're here, could you help me with this task? Since in this sentence means because. Because you're here, could you help me? For can also mean because, but this is a very formal version of because. You will mostly see it in literature. She didn't eat dinner for she wasn't feeling hungry. It just means because she wasn't feeling hungry, but it's a very formal thing that you wouldn't normally say in an everyday conversation. Now let's do a practice exercise. Tell me, should it be since or for? I have been fluent in Italian for or since many years. For many years. I'm talking about the length of time. I have been able to speak Italian for or since I was a child. Since. So when I was a child is when it started, the moment I started speaking Italian. So that's why we need since. My best friend and I have known each other for or since 2010. Again, we're talking about when our friendship started. So we need since 2010. We have lived in the same apartment for or since 3 years. We're talking about the length of time, so we need for 3 years. It would be nice to see you. We haven't seen each other for or since ages. For ages. It's a set phrase, but we're also just talking about the length of time, for ages, for a very long time. How many did you get right? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and get your free English grammar booklet from the video description. I'll see you next time. Bye!